Hello Bookfetters, so I'm doing this really late, so I'm going to try and do a one-take video, except not a one-take video, because I recorded this earlier trying to do the direct record to YouTube thing, and that just kind of really sucked, and so one-take video in a second take. Before I get started on the actual video part of this video, I want to respond to the comment that I believe it was Book Thief 88, or it might have been someone else, I don't know, posted on my video from 2 weeks ago, because I didn't post a video last week, about my Tamora Pierce books, and my favorite Tamora Pierce book is actually the first one of hers that I read, which is The Will of the Empress, which isn't to say that I didn't enjoy ones I read later, but rather than reading books that are set before this, enhanced my enjoyment of this book. That being said, the books that I have, with the exception of Alanna, which has been in a box forever, and I completely forgot that I even owned it, all of these books I got, well, all of the Tamora Pierce books anyway, I got when Borders closed, and I haven't actually had a chance to read them much, and my library basically only had the Sokol books, and it didn't even have all of them, so I haven't read any of the Tortall books. Lauren has, though. But, yes. Fault in Our Stars. Right. So, as Katie and Kalinda said, we're avoiding spoilers for our first, well, not, I guess it's a week, but until Kalinda, again. And I don't actually know how to not spoil this book, because to me, like I said with Paper Towns the other week, it's not about the plot. It's so much, like, I wasn't really so much wondering what's going to happen to the characters, although I did care about that, but more of a what are the characters going to conclude, because John Green's books tend to be very the characters conclude things book, which tend to not work. I've noticed, like, a lot of books that I've read like that, they come off as way too heavy-handed and irritating. John Green's books, it feels very natural, because we do come to conclusions in our life, and we do think about things, so for the narrator of this story to do that, and it helps that it's written in first person, which I usually don't like first person, but he actually does it very well. It feels natural without being too preachy sounding, I guess. And it helps that I tend to agree with his conclusions. Well, not so much Looking for Alaska, and there wasn't much in Calvin, but Paper Towns and Fault in Our Stars and Will Grayson especially. Yeah, so I guess what I can talk about more is the experience of reading this book. I've got it on the 10th. It was waiting for me in a box on my doorstep when I got home, and fortunately the UPS guy did not put it in the snow, so that's good. So it arrived, and it was very completely unsnowed, and I stayed up all night that night and read it, and I finished it like 8 or something in the morning on the 11th. I don't know what I'm doing. Yes. And then I hadn't read it again until the beginning of this week, and I was like, oh, I should read Fault in Our Stars again since I'm doing the video and it's not Moby Dick, so I can actually just read it again. And so I was up all night, Monday night reading it, and then finished it, I think, Tuesday night, and then read it again Tuesday night, and I read it Wednesday night, and I think Thursday night or Friday. I don't know, either Thursday or Friday I was up studying Latin and Ukrainian randomly, so I didn't read Fault in Our Stars that night, but I have been reading it every other night. And I also reread part of Paper Towns today. But, yes. This book, for me, like I said, it was more about the conclusions that the characters come to, and yeah. But also, it was about actually being able to just read a book straight through like that. Like, I haven't actually done that since I don't even know when, that I've really been, oh, I want to sit down and read this book, and I can actually read it for the most part straight through, except when I have to get up and walk around or something. But yeah. There's something else I was going to say. I can't remember. Well, I can't remember. So, I'm going to end this video now and go talk about William and Dorothy Wordsworth like I'm supposed to be doing. And then I will see you on Monday. Actually, never mind. I do remember what I was going to say. Well, kind of. Sort of. Oh, yes. And there's kind of a limit to how much I can talk about this without actually getting into spoilers. But I found it interesting how a book that is based, well, premise-wise, based on teenagers with cancer, is in itself a kind of healing in a way that it doesn't heal, that it makes things actually better, but it heals in that it makes them different. Kind of. Spoilers. Yeah.